If I have ever felt myself in anyone else's shoes, it's here. I used to try to be the best husband and do all the right things. I would check all the right boxes. I would be just who I thought she wanted me to be. Everyone else would say I was the perfect catch, a dream guy, a good guy. These words sting writing now because I wasn't a great man, exclamation point. I wasn't true or honest with myself about what I wanted. I lacked purpose, I lacked identity, and I definitely didn't know how to love myself. It showed up in all kind of ways, like avoiding fights, lying, unmasculine ways, and the unsatisfied relationship I was in. The truth, it wasn't her. It wasn't her that was moody and crabby. It was me. I was playing for sex points, for good boy points, for validation points. While she would begrudgingly give them to me, it made her mad at herself and me. With a woman, it's not how you act that's a small part of it. It's who you are being and how you make her feel. And somehow I actually cut off the question. So his question was along the lines of, how the hell do I do this? How do I do that? How do I attract her? How do I be this man? How do I bring that energy into the world? And like, again, I apologize for cutting off the question, but it was like caps. How do I do that? How do I be this man? Okay. So this is not a 5-second answer. You're not going to be able to, switch on the light switch as a man and just automatically go over into this way of being. It's going to be steps at a time. It's going to be persistence. It's going to be patient persistence and knowing which fucking direction to head, right? If you're trying to get from one end of the forest to the other, you need the map. You need to know where you're going and how to navigate the obstacles. So, gentlemen, jump in here. Let's have a conversation about this. What would you say? How do I be this man who's grounded and attracts her? Right? If you've been on this journey, and every single one of you are that are on here right now, I'd love for you to unmute yourself and come on in if you can. Let's have a conversation about this. Go ahead, come on in.
The following program is intended for a mature audience. Viewer discretion is advised.
This I've got to see.
It's worth watching, so stay tuned.
I think the biggest thing that stands out to me is the comment checking the boxes. And then he followed it up immediately with for her. Like, to me, the biggest strides that I've made is checking the boxes for myself and truly learning what I want in life every single day and how I want to be and how I want to be in this world. Has nothing to do with the woman you're with. And it has everything to do with your own soul and your own mind and your own purpose, and truly understanding that you are a part of this world. And that's the most important part of your life. And who is with you is just icing on the cake. And as soon as you can self-reflect and you can almost be a little self-centered, not in a negative way, but truly turn your energy towards yourself and put yourself first, things will definitely change. No question.
Yeah, Kent, I 100% agree, right? So if it's, and I've been there, I think every single one of us has been there, where the nice guy is this end of the spectrum, right? The pendulum is over here. And then when we do this work, the pendulum swings and we may go too far, but what we're trying to find is like something in the middle. So when you say, be a little selfish, for a lot of us, we've never even considered that, right? So like the pendulum is stuck, but we really need to know how to have that range. How did you unstick the pendulum? How did you do that for your own self? Or how do you continue to remind yourself of that?
Just to continue to live in my truth. I think forever, even during the separation and divorce and everything, I still found a way to live in her truth and feel sorry for her and to try to make things right for the family unit. And I just wasn't the person I needed to be. And I wasn't a healthy version of myself for a long time. And I can see now that I wasn't the leader that I want to be now. I can see now that she wanted more out of me. I can see that she, as much as it maybe hurt 6 to 12 months ago, like she was trying to set herself free as well, but also potentially trying to set myself free with it. And I'm kind of looking at this new life right now as a gift. And it's a gift of clarity. It's a gift of groundedness, and it's a gift of just being able to breathe and understand that I do have a purpose in this world. Even though I'm still figuring that out, I do have a place in this world, and it's not for anybody else. It's for me, and the right people will be in my life when the time comes.
Wow. Wow, that's fucking huge. Like how different is I'm it's like inspiring just to listen to you. Seriously, like my heart was growing in my chest listening to you. And you don't have to necessarily know the perfect mission of yourself as a man, but just to like feel like, yeah, I want to fucking be on my own journey here and not be kowtowing to anyone else, right? It's sort of that you first. I mean, I love that, Ken.
Absolutely. And there was something you actually sent to our group the other day from Patrice O'Neill, I believe. There was a part that really hit home when he said, never give 100% of yourself to any relationship. You have to be able to own enough of yourself to be able to walk away. Like, I think he said something to the effect of the max he gives is 90%, because if you give all of yourself to anything, especially a relationship, and all of a sudden that rug is pulled out from underneath you and there's nothing left of you to pick up the pieces, what are you going to do? Like, so you've almost got to be able to, hey, this life is mine. I'm willing to give this much, and this is my path. This is my journey. And, I'm going to have enough left for me at the end of the day, regardless of what the relationship status looks like.
Yeah, let me be your coach for a minute, Kent. Okay, all right. So first of all, Patrice O'Neill, he's like Red Pill before they even called it Red Pill. He's a comedian. He's passed away now. Go look him up. There's some cool shit out there. Just realize he's a comedian, and he's Red Pill stuff. But Kent, so I'm gonna flip something, right? The last thing you said was, well, if I give them 100% and they go away, what am I gonna do? Well, let's flip that on its head, right? A woman doesn't want you to be codependent with her. A woman doesn't turn a woman on to be 100%. I mean, and this, what we're talking about really is codependence, right? Right. So flip that on its head for me. So it's not so much if she walks away, I'm destroyed. How would you flip that on its head?
I don't know if this is where you're going, but if she walks away, then I'll be okay. I mean, that's what I took out of it. It's like, there's going to be enough of me left over regardless. So if you want to be in this with me, then that's kind of where I'm at with, essentially my dating status right now. It's, if you want to be with me, I'm here. And I'm not going anywhere. If you don't want to be here, then tomorrow I'm going to be okay. And that was a long road journey from the separation divorce, because I didn't have anything left. I was one of those who was, very codependent and really had a hard time picking myself up off the ground. So that's a lesson that I've learned, and it really hit home with me this week.
Yeah, I absolutely. And it's not so that like I can hedge and I'll be okay. It's because if I don't know that, she'll be turned off. Right. So it's not this selfish, okay, I'm going to hedge and not open my heart as much because I was hurt in the past or any of that. It's just how men and women are in relationship. It's how polarity works. It's how, without to try to go too deep in right this exact moment, this is what we talk about every single day, right? This is why we're learning these skills. This is how we all fucked up and smashed our face into the ground in the past, because we thought it's 100% leaning on the chair of the relationship. And when she could pull the chair out, we fall on her face. That whole dynamic, she's turned off by that. And I'll ask Cynthia here in a second. So, right, it's not like, oh, I'm hedging. It's that kills polarity and desire, right? So that's the why, right? So yeah, and the way so let me tell a 30-second story. Kent, that was great, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. 30-second story. So I spoke a second call with a man yesterday. He's out of Arizona. Very intelligent, very socially aware man. He can say all the right things from the books. And he's like, oh, and he's basically trying to be a woman with his girl. Okay. Like, I'm trying to connect with her. And I told her I could have said this yesterday, and then that would have been better for us. And you would have blah, blah, fucking blah, 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 blah. Right. So he's trying to be her girlfriend basically. And he's wondering, why is she turned off by that? Why is she telling me I can't be I'm not the right woman for you, and you should go find the right woman in the world? Code, you're being I'm feeling like you're turning me off, motherfuckers. She doesn't know how to say that. She doesn't know how to teach him that. She doesn't want to teach him that. And this is what I said. It's the chair analogy. If she can pull the chair out and you smash your face into the ground, that dynamic turns her off. So Cynthia, let's jump in. Oh, and by the way, a little key to that story is this dude is like an attractive man. He's 6'5", full beard. He's a badass. He's just using the completely wrong, like, woman strategy, if you will, in relationship, because he doesn't fucking know any better. We didn't learn this. We just saw, like Friends, the Friends episodes, which I'd love for you to share about that, and learn the whole wrong thing. So Chris, I'm going to pause on you for a second, buddy. So Cynthia, talk to us about that if the man is going to be crushed if she leaves, that turns her off. And then the role models that we've seen, like on the show Friends, when you told me about the actor the other day, right? So bring that in for us, please.
Yeah, well, I think every relationship, we've talked before about any two people together, there's going to be an anxiety, and you need a propelling force forward. So there needs to be a third entity of purpose, of identity. And I think when two people get into it's too much there's nothing moving, there's no third entity. And so a woman who feels that with a man, where it's his only ladder, his only stake in the sand is the relationship, it's gonna feel like it's there's this claustrophobic feeling, because there's no one identifying with the leading forward, the purpose forward. And so she can either try to do that herself, or if it feels like his whole identity is entwined, his whole sense of worth as a man is entwined in the relationship, is going to feel kind of like a gloppy feeling. And like she's going to need space and air somewhere else, because the intensity of that, she can't feel his momentum in his own life. And that it does feel like the masculine's not living his purpose, and the feminine automatically turns off from that, or starts to go into the polarity of masculinity herself, feeling that need in relationship.
And that turns off her femininity if she needs to be the masculine pole. Yeah. So talk with us about what you said about the show Friends, what you told me about that.
Yeah, so they recently did a reunion, and the actor Matthew Perry shared that he, like a snippet of an interview, and he said, I will never forgive myself for being part of something that was so aligned with feminism and made masculinity seem weak and goofy and irrational.
All three male characters in the show, right?
Yeah, all of them are like kind of like fumbling over themselves, or overly involved in relationship, or kind of, there's the Ross character who's kind of this soppy, like he's like the dog who's caught in the rain because he can't get the love that he wants. And there can be romantic pulls to that, but that's never long lasting in relationship, and that's dampening masculinity. And you'll also find that the characters in that show, as the men got more dampened in masculinity, the female characters got more masculine, to balance out that polarity.
100%.
To watch the rest of this episode for free and other episodes, go to greatmenmovemountains.com/VIP. Punch in your info and watch the rest for free.
Get more affection, love, and sex in your marriage. Get less paralyzing fear and rejection. Never miss an episode. Watch anytime, anywhere, 3 a.m. on the toilet. Get full episodes. greatmenmovemountains.com/VIP. The C Note Show.